And for now anyway, they're going to go have a think about this one. They won't have some amazing options like the Pugner, as Execration did ban that out super early.
They could go for... This looks decent for PA. You're always going to be worried about the pain. But I think if you wanted that... No, they go with the Ursa instead. So it's a lot more stable. I think it's got a lot more durability than PA. But it also brings nearly as much damage. Not as crazy burst, but in a sustained fight, it is pretty darn good. I think you're looking at a very interesting matchup. Troll against Ursa. Both of these heroes like to hit each other for a long time. And it's really down to will attack speed win or will raw damage win in this case.
I don't know. That Ursa scares me for Execration's sake. It is into a Bane though, in all fairness. So you do have a lot of control on that Ursa. That's really all you have though. Like after the Bane, you've got a Rubik lift. Rolling Thunder is pretty good as well, but it does seem like a nice Ursa pick to be made here from Adroit. Will be with the Winter Wyvern this game, which is still very, very dominant as a laning kind of duo there for Adroit as well. Question is, what do they go run mid here for Mac? I still don't think they're going to run the Nature's Prophet mid. I think it should be a Ben Soy Prophet.
Yeah, that it should be, but I have a very strange feeling Adroit might go for the Dazzle for whatever reason. I'm not sure why, but we've seen them draft the NP Dazzle a couple of times. It's not the best. I wouldn't want that here, but I can see them actually going for it just to push their Ursa to its limit. So you still want something more active for Mac, but if they do take the Dazzle, I think there's a high chance it's a Mac NP. They ban out the Storm themselves. Their options are limited. The Ember Spirit and Void Spirit are gone as well. Guess something else that could pop out. Maybe the Queen of... No, it's been banned. The Lina is good burst for the Troll. That could be an option here if they're not going for that NP mid, which they, again, hopefully don't go for.
You could also run something a bit wackier like an OD mid, but it's
Yeah.
just a bit too greedy, I think. Like it's too slow to play with the draft that Adroit already has, and it's not generally their style. If they wanted to, they could go the mag mid and give the Ursa a free Battle Fury with the Empower, which is what they do with the PA, but instead of doing it with the PA, you just do it with the Ursa instead. Mind you, you are
Yeah,
still
that...
playing into a Rubik, in all fairness,
Yep.
so might be a little bit dangerous to do that.
They're thinking hard. I think they're tempted by that Magnus. The issue is, for the Rubik, you're not just worried about the RP being stolen, but even the Empower is going to be stupid on the Troll. You're going to give
True.
that option towards Execration as well, so there is a risk. I wonder what's up. It's very rare you see a droid dip this deep into that reserve time.
Well, seemingly a lot to think about. Adroit, they're still going to have a think about this one. Okay,
Oh,
they do go into the
yeah.
Dazzle.
Yeah. I mean, it's they've drafted this before. We've seen Ben Soy play that Dazzle so many times. We know the sustain it brings, maybe even the nuke potential with the Prophet in the lane. I think this really slows down their pace, though. Like, this 100% slows down the pace for Adroit. They are depending on their supports to make these big plays, along with the Ursa for Natsumi. So these are the three people who are going to run around. Otherwise, Dazzle takes until 18 to kick in. NP is depending on the itemization. Now, you would want to see Mac to maybe opt for that aggressive Orchid. I think if you have that, you can make those early rotations. If he goes for something like a Maelstrom, that just means he's just going to be farming. And I don't really think you want to play a farming game against a Troll. The Troll can build up quite nicely, although you have a counter in the Winter Wyvern, but still don't want to risk that space being lost out.
Oh, I doubt he'll bother with the Maelstrom. Like, there's no push coming out from Execration as of yet to really bother trying to pick up a Maelstrom this game if you are the Prophet. Execration, though, they're going to have a bit of a think about their last pickup now. They're still missing their own mid hero, or alternatively, they'll run the mid Pango and get another off lane. And of course, the death Prophet was still there this whole time, which it's very rare for a DP to make it all the way through to this point. So Execration will naturally just take it for themselves. It's a very, very strong pickup for Execration. It's just a matter of whether it's going to pay off.
Yeah, I think that DP mid up against Max Profit will get a lot more creeps though. So there's a lot more farm to come out because of those treants. You have to be careful with Mac about how much he does toss out to the DP in this case. Beyond that, it gives them that timer. You said they were lacking push. DP fixes that issue. So you have a bit of a pace here from Execration. I think you have to look at Execration to perhaps play the faster game. They don't have any big ults from their supports to wait for. They're not constrained to any timers besides Exorcism. Not like Adroit. They need Winter's Curse. They need a Slam. All of that. And they need levels in Bensoy. So it's a bit slower for Adroit. I'd say Execration. If they run their draft properly, they can shut that map out fairly early.
That they can. Adroit trying to get a 2-0 victory if they can. They did just lose their last series 0-2 up against Geek Fam. So they want to try and finish their day off on a high note if they can. Execration as well would love to just get this draw. Every point really does matter in this round robin group stage. See how it all pans out. We've talked about this DP so many times and how there's a very awkward kind of timing around that ultimate. It's just a matter of whether Execration can make it work.
It's really going to be key though. Like, they need the DP to get that initial space so Palace gets farm. It's not a very easy game for the Troll. Like, even if it will take a while for Adroit to find that EXP, once it's up, the Troll has to worry about multiple things, right? The Sprout, as you mentioned, if he's in rage, if he's in Berserker's blood, Bensoy's Grave is going to be an issue as well, and Winter's Curse, even a Cold Embrace. So Execration has to play really fast to ensure that they can overcome that EXP barrier that Adroit will want to find. And Adroit, they have to hold out because, it takes a while for the Winter Wyvern to hit 6. It takes a while for the Dazzle to hit, 10 is when you start to see Shallow Grave. Maybe Bensoy opts for it earlier, but you don't tend to see the early levels. That could cost him if Bensoy goes a bit too greedy.
Bensoy is already going to chase down RR a little bit, doing a substantial amount of damage onto that poor Bane. RR doesn't really have many tangos. He only has 2 right now, opting for the brown boots early. Which is very unusual for a Bane to do this. I can't remember the last time I saw Bane go brown boots at level 1. I mean, you can just sustain yourself with Brain Sap, but you can run out of mana quite quick. Nevertheless, it will be a 2-for-2 trade on those bounties. Very even start. And Execration seemingly going to run the tri lane to start off this safe lane for their Radiant side.
Yeah, they really just want to ensure Palos has that good lane. I think in this case, you can hold out with BHM on the Pango. He shouldn't really struggle at level 1, so don't want anything too silly to happen to Palos early on.
No, that is true. They do eventually just TP Yaha up top, though. They were trying to just make sure the Earthshaker didn't get that block off. He did block the wave, so that does mean that Bensoy is going to have his wave pushing out towards him. Palos is not really going to enjoy that too much, as now he's going to lose equilibrium in that safe lane. RR as well is going to be very, very focused on chasing down Boomy, and I suppose this is why he went the brown boots in the first place. Is to be able to try and keep up with the Earthshaker. But he really isn't able to, and now Boomy's going to find this courier as well. That was the Quelling Blade of Palos.
Oh, that's not good. That's really going to hurt Palos's lane. Just means he's going to find a little bit less CS than he'd expect, and gives Bensoy a lot of breathing room in terms of getting the denies out.
Yeah, that really is unfortunate. Palos does it the other way around as well. Usually you'd start off with the Quelling Blade and then bring out more regen with the courier. But he did opt to go for the regen build first, and well, luckily for him, the courier timing isn't going to be that long. It'll be about 40 seconds before it does respawn. So it's not all bad. We'll have a look at the other lanes while we're here. Ben-Hur going to be up against Mac in that mid lane. So the Prophet versus the DP. And Ben-Hur shouldn't really have too many issues on this Death Prophet in this mid. But in all fairness, he also shouldn't really be able to kill off that Prophet.
Yeah, it's not going to be a kill lane for either side. There's just the potency for additional farm for Ben-Hur if he consistently lands the Crypt Swarm. But Mac, of course, with the Treants, can easily secure denies himself. So it's a lot of a back and forth. I think so far, though, Mac is making this lane work just a bit better. 8-8 compared to Ben-Hur's 9-4. A lot more denies for Mac.
Yeah. It's a really nice attack animation the Nature's Prophet has. He just attacks so quick in comparison to Ben-Hur on the DP and bot lane. RR is going to be the first blood here. Ben-Soy managing to pick that up off the back of a nice Fisher there from Boomy. And Palos is really unable to help at that level 3 troll.
Yeah, it looked a bit scary for Ben-Soy. He was being jumped by Palas, but again, Boomy with a really perfect fissure to split them up. And just gave enough space to Ben-Soy to actually cast that last Shadow Wave to clean up, although he is still fairly low.
This is a bit of a dangerous play from RR. He does try to go on to Ben-Soy. Now Axes come out, and they will find the kill. Now Palos going to try and go on to Boomy, hoping to get that root off. No ensnares coming out. He does get the slow off, though, and RR going to keep chasing him down. No Nightmare, but Brain Sap up in the second. It wouldn't have been enough anyway. That'll make it a 1-1 now. Both kills happening in this offlane of Adroit.
Yeah, I think you're going to be happier if you're Execration to find Ben-Soy. He is the offlaner core, and they did just lose their support. You don't really mind this Execration. All of this happening, though, doesn't stop Palos from farming. 21-6. Good initial start for a troll. Should lead to some steady buildup, despite losing that Calling Blade earlier on.
Yeah, but Natsumi's been having a pretty good time as well in that Ursa. 18-2. He is behind the troll, but things will start to escalate for him as time goes on. Of course, he's had to deal with the disarm of BHM, which can be very, very hard to play against as an Ursa. Especially if BHM is getting lucky enough with those lucky shots. Of course, Yaha has been there with the Fade Bolt spamming as well, but mid lane, Ben-Hur goes down. Mac able to pick up the kill with the double damage, and well, Boomy was around once again with a nice Fisher.
Yeah, it's one of the things that Adroit does a little bit better. They get the early rotations with Boomy every single time, and this is why you don't give him the Shaker.
True. Bot lane, though, him leaving that lane meant that the Dazzle did go down, but BHM now going to be in a bit of trouble. Another great Fisher to come out. BHM dies, live to allow Natsumi to get on the other side of that Fisher from Yaha, but they are going to let Natsumi have the kill. And well, now poor RR down at the bot lane has to be a little bit careful as Ben-Soy is making a chase. We'll get Nightmare up and we'll be fine. But Execration really do have to be wary of that Earthshaker rotation. He is still around, by the way. He's going to try and go after BHM again and try to get that TP wasted. Can he get a Fisher off in time? Not quite. He's going to wait around. Yaha being there now will be able to get an Observer Ward on the cliff as well. And that means Boomy won't be able to make these rotations again.
Yeah, it's still a lot of resources expended from Execration to keep their off lane safe. This is not necessarily a lane you try to maintain for the most part, but with just how active Boomy is, you do feel that pressure.
Boomy, Fisher, not going to come out. It's like RR might make a rotation towards that mid lane, but for now he was placing a nice deep Observer Ward. Unfortunately for him, that Observer Ward was scouted out, as they already had an Observer Ward there by Adroit. That should be dewarded relatively quickly by Boomy. Now Ben-Soy, though, going to be in trouble again. They do get the Nightmare off into the slow. Ben-Soy doesn't have Shallow Grave yet, and they will easily secure the kill, though. Here comes Mac with that Nature's Wrath. Fisher, not great this time. Does end up blocking Mac out of this fight. And so they couldn't secure the kill onto Palos. Mac may try and start a T1 push, but it is a bit early. I imagine he probably will just try and back off again.
Yeah, it's not the best situation, and losing Ben Soy does mean his farm's lower, although not to me.
Yeah, gonna TP out of the top lane. Will barely make it out. He does have to go all the way back to the fountain, which does mean Execration now might feel like they can try to pressure this top tier 1 as well. And Ben-Hur, well, he does have the level 6. He didn't opt to skill up the Execration, not the Execration, but the Exorcism, but now he does at that level 7 mark.
Yaha? He just TP'd mid.
Okay, Yaha's in trouble. He'll survive. Mac wasn't able to quite finish the job off. And Mac's gonna just try and pressure that tier 1 mid tower if they're gonna make this this top tower push.
Yeah, I think this is a worthwhile trade for Adroit if they do find it, and you're just constantly keeping Yaha low.
Nightmare gonna be there onto Mac. Mac will get it taken off him, and now of course an easy Wrath of Nature will take out Yaha. RR going to be chased down as well. It does get sprouted up by Mac. He brain saps the creep to try and survive. The likelihood is he will die, but no, Ben-Hur's here now. Mac's in trouble. He will go down. Ben-Hur was trying to push in that tier 1 top tower. Doesn't quite get it. He did have to come in mid to at least get the kill onto Mac, and now might find Boomy. Spirit Siphon not going to be enough, and he's actually out of mana, so he can't quite finish off the kill.
Bit of a shame. Would have been nice to find that early Boomy kill. I think Adroit is still happy with how that ends up. Like, sure, you lose Mac, but Ben-Hur does not find the objective. And we talk about this with the DP, but the Exorcism has to lead to both kills and objectives. It has to be maximized in the best way, otherwise it falls apart.
Natsumi bot lane trying to go after RR. Sprout is going to be an easy setup though. He misses the Earth Shock, and that means RR is going to be able to get away. The support Bane does end up buying a Quelling Blade for himself now, just to make sure that he doesn't really suffer from these sprouts. Tries to go for a D ward up against Boomy, but Boomy does D ward the Observe ward as well, denying that gold away. And Adroit, they do eventually get that T1 bot. But in the process, they will lose their Wyvern top lane. CML goes down.
Yeah, it's just a support trade for a tower. You're not going to mind if you're Adroit. They were trying to give CML space to find EXP. Again, key thing is that level 6 timing on their Wyvern and on the Shaker. So even if CML died, he's about a quarter off from 6, and that just means you're very close to having that Winter's Curse.
You know, it's going to be a lot onto Ben-Hur to really keep trying to apply pressure with the Exorcism. He's got it back up in 7 seconds. It's just going to be a matter of whether he wants to try and push. But I believe he probably will go back up top. But no, they already found that tier 1 tower. Palos takes it out. So instead, maybe mid. But he is going to need some help. Mac. Going to run into Ben-Hur. But the Illusion Rune is already picked up, and Ben-Hur will just run away. But I think this suits Adroit. Like, the fact that they aren't using Exorcism off cooldown, they'll probably be okay with just not taking a team fight right now for Adroit and just keep farming up on their Prophet and Ursa.
Oh, Palos?
Yeah, top lane gonna be in trouble. Boomy looks like he committed the Echo Slam for that. Mac trying to chase. Wrath of Nature going to fly out. Palos, Fisher going to connect as well. And there's the Wrath of Nature. Flying through from Mac, and it's a lot of damage to come out. BHM will come in now with the Rolling Thunder. Ben-Hur's going to meet up there as well. Spirit Siphon there onto Boomy. He is still surviving, however. Rolling Thunder down. No, it won't connect. Ben-Hur, he will go down. Mac has so much damage on the Prophet. And now Natsumi's going to chase down Yaha. Yaha will TP though. Great Fisher out from Boomy once again. This should mean an easy kill if the Treants aren't blocking Natsumi. Mac will get the Sprout off. Natsumi will secure the kill.
Oh man, that is just not good news for Execration. They've been trying to give Palos that space to farm up, and his item build is a farm-centric one as well. Going for the Battle Fury, you could argue Adroit going for the Battle Fury as well, not to me, means they're playing slow. It just doesn't, because everyone else can fight. Natsumi still does the damage without any item buildup, and the troll, it's not quite the same. Like, if you can focus someone down for a long time, sure, but you don't really tend to get those opportunities, especially against Adroit's draft. So Execration, they need to protect Palos. They shouldn't really toss him to the long lanes anymore. Just a lot of risk of being jumped like that from Adroit. And it's another day where we see a blinkless Shaker find kills.
That is true. Burmese just been making so much work happen. He's already been involved in 8 out of the 9 kills for Adroit. It's a very, very influential Earthshaker thus far. That exorcism was really unfortunate as well from Ben-Hur. He just popped it and ended up dying so quickly. This is not the DP performance you were hoping for. He's just very, very behind in farm. In fact, he's almost 2k behind the Nature's Prophet now, which is really concerning. Bot lane, Yaha going to get chased down now by Natsumi. Blocked in that tree line. Tree and out from Mac, and Natsumi will go ahead. No, in fact, it's Mac who takes the kill. Doesn't matter, though. That gets him that much closer now to his Orchid, which he will have up in probably a few minutes. And Execration, you're almost getting to that point where you have the Battle Fury up on Palos, but you kind of talked about it. It doesn't really make too much of a difference on the Troll. They will smoke up now in Execration, trying to make a rotation down to the bot lane, but they've already gone.
Yeah, they got a really good scan out from Adroit to know that something's up, and, well, maybe they find Natsumi. No.
Be a nice kill. Fiend's Grip is there, but no.
He got the Enrage off right in time. So, an ult for an ult. That does hurt Execration just a bit more. That's a longer cooldown they expended. And again, Adroit just back to farming. They know they can take their time. They know that even if Palos builds up, Winter Wyvern just makes that farm work against you. And look at that. Boomy has his blink up.
That he does. With that, he'll start rotating into the mid lane, where Adroit might try to set up for the tier 1 mid tower. You do have Exorcism back up and online, so you can try to take the fight. Yaha does actually steal the Earth Shock. That's not really what you want, but could use it.
I guess he'll... Oh, CML.
Yeah, he's going to be nightmared up, but the tier 1 mid tower is being pushed in. And they are unable to defend. Mac will find the last hit on the tower. Execration, understanding they're behind right now, just don't want to take the fight. But taking that T1 this early on for Adroit, they're just going to be able to take over the map now.
Yeah, it's not like they already haven't though, but it just allows easier access to that jungle. And again, the space to farm for Palos grows smaller. He keeps going to the long lane. And Adroit's always ready to kind of circle around there.
He'll TP. It is going to cost probably the RR kill though. In fact, no, he will be within tier 1 tower range as well. He'll be fine. No, he won't. Max TPing. They want the kill. Boomy jumps in there with the enchant totem. They do secure it. The tier 1 top tower now going to be taken down by Adroit. Mid tier 1 trying to be pushed in here from Execration, but CML is there with his curse, and this poor Rubik going to get caught out with a fish. Although he had the Earth Shock, he will bounce over the cliff and lift back Natsumi, but Boomy will have none of it. He'll jump back in. Now Palos coming out, does get the kill. They can take this team fight. Battle Trance is there from Palos, but he's getting blocked by a creep. That is so unfortunate. Ben-Hur with the Execration now being popped, but Palos is going to die. And now Ben-Hur, he's a sitting duck. He can't survive this. He'll try there with BHM. Rolling Thunder, they'll try and turn it around. Cold Embrace on CML, though, will save himself. And BHM is still dropping low. He will also die to Mac. Now Ben-Hur goes down to Natsumi.
Oh, man.
And it's just for the price of an Earthshaker.
Yeah, that's 3 cores. 3 cores for the Shaker. Execration. This is not how you jump in like that. I'm not sure how Palos got blocked by a very low HP creep for such a long time, but that really costed him. He could not get any lifesteal off in that trance, and I mean, he has a Battle Fury, but he should just be farming. He cannot fight. you just can't fight right now. And Adroit widens their lead to 5k. You should be seeing level 2 Bad Juju on Ben Soy soon. Doesn't quite have the mech up, but you know, once that's up and running, the sustain from Adroit really starts to kick into gear.
Yeah, both Battle Furies are up as well. Palos and Natsumi have one each. But Adroit, smoke up, go for the Roshan play. It's going to be a nice, easy Roshan to take. And on top of that, they might even find this Pangolier who has been silenced up. BHM tries to swashbuckle out, does go for the Rolling Thunder. And looks like he might be fine, but now they are going to turn around. Mac's in trouble. This will be a big pickoff if they could get it. Bensoy trying to keep him alive. The Shallow Grave, no. Nightmare is there, and now the Echo. Burmy jumps in. They save Mac. He does try to TP out. Ben-Hur gets the Yules off. BHM waiting for the swash, but he misses.
What?
He missed the swashbuckle. And BHM gonna be chased. Boomy is right behind.
Boomy.
And BHM just gonna stand there in the corner and think about what he's done. Ben Soy will pick up a triple kill. Oh. I mean, the Nightmare was there from RR. They had the kill, but the Nightmare stopped them from taking it. Then the Shallow Grave comes out, the Echo Slam, the missed swashbuckle. So many little mistakes from Execration.
That was not it. Just crumbling apart. There's no way Mac should have gone through with that. And Adroit get the Aegis on top so they can get the push going. We do have level 13 in Ben Soy. That means level 2 Bad Juju's up and running. And I believe he's flying out his mech. So if you thought that sustain was already hard, it's going to be worse now for Execration. Not only that, but CML has the Meteor Hand. So there's follow-up to the Winter's Curse from the Winter Wyvern. And they can't even punish anyone from this retreat.
They put a bounty out onto the Ursa. Rolling Thunder going to be popped. Natsumi is by himself right now. Maybe they do get the bounty. One stun will be there. They'll have a follow-up. Natsumi has the Aegis, but needs a way out of this. He will die. His team is so far away right now. They are nowhere near to help. He does jump to the low ground, though. Going to try and juke them out. Fiend's Grip does come out, though, and that should be enough. Natsumi should be dead, and bounty will be not claimed. Still there.
Yeah, I think that's always weird. Is it because Ben-Hur placed the bounty and found a kill?
I don't know. There'll be a Wyvern Curse coming out. Palos being caught out with the Meteor Hammer as well. They won't have enough though. Mac is going to be in trouble. He'll turn on the Blade Mail. Shallow Grave there as well from the Dazzle. Now the Exorcism comes out from Ben-Hur. Mac still fighting, but eventually will die. They did steal the Shallow Grave on that Rubik, and Ben still trying to go forward. CML does cast the Cold Embrace on himself to try and survive this, but ultimately should end up dying in Execration now. Taking a very successful team fight. Whether they find a tower out of this is a different story, though. It looks like they are going to back out.
Yeah, they're still happy with those kills. Pretty substantial kills coming out for Execration. And Adroit just kind of at the wrong place at the wrong time, being punished hard. Have to be careful on Ben Soy about giving that grave away. That's one way Execration can survive the onslaught, and that's a really good steal from Yaha. Still has it as well. It's going to be up for a long time, which is really going to work against Adroit. So, you got to be a bit careful every now and again. Although, this is still time to build up. Still a 7k advantage for Adroit. You look at Ben Soy going into those Guardian Greaves. So again, kicking that regen into gear. And of course, even Natsumi saving up for his Basher. Almost there. Once that's up and running, it just becomes harder to win out on a 1v1 fight between the Troll. Palos will have to watch out for that added control. Whereas Palos is saving up for the SNY. So he just wants that durability, wants the stat resist, and just pad himself up for these fights. It's not quite going to be enough, but I suppose if Yaha's around with Shallow Grave, you're probably going to be okay.
Well, they're just going to push in that bottom tier 2 tower. Like, Adroit are just scared of nothing right now. On the tier 2. Execration still yet to take the tier 1 mid tower. They are going to be forced to come back bot to defend. There are treants and some necro creeps there, and They still won't find the tier 1 mid. Now RR is getting chased down here. Sprout, Mac does get the Sprout off on the staircase. Boomy's going to be right behind. There's no way that RR can survive that. Palos will also TP out in time on the troll. But an 8k net worth lead for Adroit now. And Execration, John, they're kind of starting to run out of options here.
They really are. They are building up on BHM though. Like he is about 1,000 away from the halberd. That would be big.
Boomy.
Although Boomy
Gets lifted up. Sentry ward is there. They can take this Earthshaker down first. Boomy's trying to run. CML, Winter's Curse. They will save Boomy with the Shallow Grave, but now the counter Winter's Curse coming out from Yaha. And with that, this will be a great team fight to take for Execration. Fiend's Grip is there on the Dazzle as well. They can't actually burst him in time. He will actually survive and will eventually go down. Boomy somehow managed to blink out of there meanwhile through the Winter's Curse once it was over. And they're still thinking about taking this team fight. They have the Echo up. Silence, he'll blink out again. This is not a great idea for Adroit to try and take the team fight, but you never know. It is Adroit. Ben-Hur's Exorcism does wear off. Now Natsumi does try to jump in. BHM is around the corner, but he gets orchided up. They do lift up this Ursa. Still the chase is on. TP. Mac, where are you going? Onto the high ground. BHM, he tries to TP, but it gets cancelled off. Yeah, they are going to fight. They just don't mind. Boomy still has the Echo. And, oh, there's a creep wave. Boomy. No, he won't get it in time.
Whew. I mean, that is still pretty nice for Execration. They found some pretty nice kills for themselves. And Adroit, you know, they're getting a bit split up, a bit overconfident, are being punished. It's just not quite enough punishment from Execration, and it is going to be tricky. They can access the high ground very soon, or at least clear out the last few outer towers. And of course, Boomy still has a slam. He's been patient, this guy.
You know Boomy, he doesn't like to make those 1 or 2 man slams. He needs to be stylish to get the big ones off.
That's fair.
Palos gonna TP out of that top lane. Mac was rotating in. Poor RR, he has had no space to farm on this Bane. This is a very, very sad Bane game.
Yeah,
He can't get the Aether Lens. Can't get any keen optics. Maybe he gets lucky with the telescope later. Can't even get his level 15. It's going to be a while away.
Yeah, he's just hurting, and I think the tail end of that smoke was spotted by the ward, but really, literally the tail end. I'm not sure if they're actually aware. Adroit, gotta watch out. Execration's feeling it, feeling confident.
Ben Soy going to spot out RR. They do go for the Nightmare on the Dazzle. CML looking for a Curse, but Natsumi jumps in onto Yaha. Curse comes out on the Rubik with the Meteor Hammer. They do also get the Bane. Now, well, that DP, just not very tanky. Does go down so quick. BHM will manage to TP out at least. But, it's a 5v3 situation again. And now they're 9k behind. Execration. They might have to try and defend this high ground now from Adroit, though. No, they're going to run up top, where Boomy is scouting out Palos. He's giving the Enchant Totem swing. It's another stun off. Battle Trance is, of course, available, but no, he won't get it off.
No.
The Orchid comes out. Mac will pick up the kill. Gives Boomy the tip.
Oh man, Boomy's just all over the map. Like he TP'd up there knowing it was just a troll, and they had enough. They punish Palos once more, take the last outer tower, and they still have the slam. They can still go for a fight.
That they can. Glyph used early on. They do glyph the siege creep, but it may still die, and yeah, it does. That'll be it, Adroit. They are going to back off now. They feel so strong though, Adroit. If you're controlling this whole map and just getting farm up, you don't mind not taking the high ground early on. You're happy to wait. I mean, this DP, it tends to drop off as well. Like, this DP is a non-factor right now.
Yeah, I'd say so. Ben-Hur has not really been able to find those objectives with the Exorcism. We're still seeing that mid-tier 1 at 26, 27 minutes in with a DP on the opposing side. That's not supposed to happen. Although you do have the disarms up and running on Execration. They've got multiple. They've got one in BHM, and they actually do have one in Ben-Hur. So if they can actually just, focus on both Natsumi and Mac, they do postpone the damage coming out for a fair bit. Issue is, even while they're disarmed, they're getting healed up by Bensoy, and slowly but surely, Bensoy will hit his level 18. That's when Bad Juju's at its best, 50% CDR, 20-second Guardian Greaves, silly stuff like that. It's hard to pierce through that, especially since no one has something like the Spirit Vessel, so you don't have a way of mitigating that heal coming out.
That you don't. They're gonna smoke up though. Execration. Oh, Boomy. Are you kidding? Gets lifted up underneath the Sentry Ward. Fiend's Grip there as well. He wanted to go for the Echo. He's right underneath the Sentry though. Definitely not a good idea. AC up on Mac now on that Prophet. You saw the panic that last little kill on the Earthshaker. Like, they just committed everything to make sure they got that kill. Even the Fiend's Grip from RR, just to make sure he doesn't get away.
Yeah, you can't risk it when you're this far behind with Execration's draft. Like, 12k at 28, we've seen some swings from games like this, but you're talking about the DP. The key factor here is the timing of these heroes have misaligned. And now it's really just about Palos finding his farm. Looks like he's saving up for what I assume is a Satanic. Only has a Reaver queued up. And that should help the cause. There's nothing from Adroit as well to stop that healing, although RR...
Yeah, he's getting trapped up. Silenced up as well, but Max in trouble. It'll be a big kill here for Execration if they can get him, but no. Curse out again from CML will stop any form of push into that fight. Natsumi, who do we want to go on? Boomy has control of Palos again. Natsumi going to go on BHM though, trying to go after the Pangolier. Meanwhile, Palos trying to deal with Boomy on that Earthshaker. He's been silenced up. And Natsumi still on BHM, does get the kill on the Pangolier. Now Ben-Hur with that Exorcism doing a lot of damage here. Natsumi, he's falling low, but the Echo. Boomy comes in. A Great Fisher just controlling everyone else on the team. Palos does use the Battle Trance, but it doesn't matter. It just doesn't matter. And Ben-Hur also goes down to Bensoy's Poison Touch, and now the Echo comes out. It was from the Rubik, but...
it doesn't do much. It's not enough. And Execration? That was a decent showing, but right now, if Mac just TP's bot, just pushes by himself.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Why not? We've got RR there on the Bane, but he can't do anything. All he can hope to do is Nightmare. Roshan will go down. Natsumi picks up the Aegis. Jump in. Fisher. Fly out from Boomy again, just stopping any kind of attempt onto Mac's life.
You've got the levels on Bensoy as well, so level 20. Guardian Greaves cooldown down to 20 seconds. Lotus Orb up and running as well. Everything you could ask for from a Dazzle.
Silences do come out. They will take the melee barracks. Execration still holding on. And Palos still working towards that Satanic on the Troll. You see Ben-Hur trying to get a Shivers Guard up, but he's just so far off it. And Adroit, they may try again for another high ground push. But no, they're going to play this safely. No need to rush. Go back and farm.
Yeah, it's their game to drop now. They've got the ball in their hands, and they can take their time. They do have the blink up and running in CML. If I recall right, he should have it, but it should allow them easier ways of jumping in. Of course, easier time to land the bigger Winter's Curse, and to set up for any sort of slam coming out from Boomy. And You know, there's no need to risk it. They're just building up. They've shut Execration into their own base anyway, so there's no way they can really farm effectively here. And they just slowly chip away.
But they will. It's a bit annoying with all these disarms on Natsumi, but can slowly do it. Now Mac just going in onto Ben-Hur with the Sprout.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Adroit making enough space now that they can get that tier 3 tower.
Radiant's
Oh,
top
jump
tower
in. Boomy. Gonna be straight onto the Pangolier. He does get silenced, but the Fiend's Grip does come out from RR, but there is zero follow-up to it. Fish is stolen from Yaha. He's really not gonna do anything. They'll keep trying. Palos does come in now. Fisher, again from Yaha. Now the Abyssal there from the Ursa. They lift him up. Rolling Thunder there as well. Winter's Curse out on the DP. Natsumi trying to find a target. BHM still rolling around. A Fisher from Boomy blocking them all in. And now Natsumi jumps in. Back onto the DP. Siphon's still going. Ben-Hur does finally go down. Now Palos in trouble. He tries to pop the Battle Trance, but it's doing nothing. Mac is surviving. And now the Shallow Grave comes out and Boomy jumps in with the Echo. Once again. And it's just getting worse and worse here for Execration. They're buying back. Fisher out. The Rax does go down. Natsumi still has the Aegis. Would love to keep fighting. But they may as well just go mid.
Radiant's bottom barracks are under attack.
Yeah, it's again, nothing to stop them. They don't have the Slam. They will have Winter's Curse in 20. And they have all the sustain you could ask for from Bensoy. So, nothing to be worried about.
They'll just keep disarming Natsumi. Mac is hitting like an absolute Mac trunk on this Tree and Protector, or Nature's Prophet, excuse me. Natsumi jumps in, Boomy there with the setup once again. Winter's Curse, gonna stop the Pangolier rolling through. Meteor Hammer, gonna be a bit late to the party. Still, they will end up killing off Boomy. Now the stolen Winter's Curse is out, but they curse themselves as well. Yaha has to be very careful with that. The tier 4s are exposed, Megas are up. BHM again gonna die in the Pangolier, and Ben-Hur, he's siphoning. It just means nothing.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Now the Fountain. They won't call GG, but we'll dive the Fountain instead. Natsumi going after RR. No, instead we'll go after the Rubik. Now going to lose a lot of HP to the Fountain. Max still fighting Palos. Battle Trance will come out. Where's the save? Cold Embrace is there. Now the Aegis does finally go down, but again, it just means nothing as Palos has died. The GG has been called. And Adroit do finish their day off with a 2-0 victory.
Yeah, they really... it looks like they did have the number of Execration. They just got the timings they wanted. Execration in game 2, and they went for the timing-heavy draft. You never saw Ben-Hur hit the point where he could find the objectives. They only found one tier 1 tower this entire time, and, well, Execration, they're going to have to look for another day to find another win. It is Adroit's to take this time around.
Well, with that, John, we are going to go into our next series of the day. It will actually be between Signal Ultra and T1 is up next. I kind of forgot. I thought that was our last series, but no, it's not. It's actually our third series of the day. So Signal Ultra versus T1 coming up next. It is MLP Dota and JohnXFire. Should be about 20 minutes before that next series starts, but we'll see you guys then.